time it is!
Welcome to the C-Squared Hour. I'm your host, Chris, your white drunk gentleman, giving you all the answers you need with none of the research. And I have a very special episode today. I'm here with my sister from the same Mr. Stacy. She's going to help us out. Now, before we get going, and I know I mentioned this at the end of the last episode, but I want to make it very clear that today's beer is from No Lie Brewing, or Northern Lights from Spokane, Born and Raised, India Pale Ale. This is what she requested 2 weeks ago. Now, what I fucking told her was there are multiple beer requests. She's going to have to get her ass in line. And so that's where we're at. So, Stacy, what are we drinking?
We're drinking Born and Raised by No Lie, which is in Spokane. It is
probably the biggest brewery in Spokane.
Yeah, probably. They have a fucking tremendous sit-down service, as well as their local brewing. And I was like, you guys need to stop drinking crap beer. Like I listened to your fucking first few episodes where you're like, I'm drinking Kokanee. I'm drinking Kokanee Gold. Like,
now
shit.
Okay. Now, for what we're trying to do here on the show, you may be right. However, what the fuck are you doing? Like, watch. Jesus Christ! All right, you're gonna tell me how the fuck I'm gonna do my show when you don't even know where the microphone is. So here's the thing: is yes, I understand where you're coming from. Anyway, it's more important to be online with the listeners than it is for the beer companies. Guess what? If someone who has watched or listened to the first 4 episodes say, "Hey, try this beer," that's what I'm gonna fucking drink. All right?
I get ya.
And then but you giving me shit about it is not okay with me. But anyway, Stacy,
yes.
Stacy, please tell us the beer we're drinking because of your recommendation.
The No Lie Born and Raised Northern Lights Brewery. They are here in what would you call the district? Like, they're over by like the warehouse and.
Well, they're in the University District.
GU District, yeah. And they have a fucking fantastic restaurant where they have like appetizers, delicious beers.
Restaurants usually have both of those. Yes, you're correct.
But not many brew their own on house. Like,
it's very true.
That's the thing.
No, really. No Lie. When you look at Spokane, is really the kind of the class of the craft brewery.
Yeah.
In this area,
you're Born and Raised is like kind of like,
and that's kind of their
bread and butter.
Their MGD, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, like if they were to serve classic pepperoni pizzas the way that Little Caesars does, that would be what they would be pumping out the drive-through. Like, you know what I mean?
That is an absolutely god awful terrible. What you're saying is
it's what they
if you
are.
Look at,
like,
no, the Born and Raised is their most popular and their most recognizable and their most beer, and it is very good. And it is definitely, if you are in the Spokane or northern Idaho area, and if you've heard of No Lie, most likely the beer you drank was Born and Raised.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say?
It's delicious. I love it.
All right. And this was, and like I said, at the last episode, I may have had some harsh words to say towards my sister about this, but this is what she wanted. This was what she recommended, and now we're here. So now that we got that out of the way, here's what.
I didn't even hear what you said at the last episode.
So, am I supposed to tell you, or am I supposed to be offended that you didn't listen to the last episode?
Because I listened to, like, the first part of your episode. But, like, am I supposed to go into this blind being, like, you talk shit about me and, like, we're not gonna, like, discuss it? Or what?
Well, what I said was, and obviously I'm gonna have to teach you how to do this, too. But what I said was, I know you gave me a beer request. I know you were being a cunt about how you were giving me the beer request. So guess what? Fuck you. I'm drinking the most recent beer on the list, and yours is next. That's all I said. So I said, hey, sorry, it ain't the beer you requested, but fuck you. That's what I said at the end of the episode.
Okay, I'm good with it.
But the fact that you needed to hear that kind of hurts my feelings.
I didn't even know. Like, I didn't even hear it.
That's what hurts my feelings.
I mean, like, I sit there and I listen to your podcast. Like, I can't listen to him around Ben because Ben is like, Uncle Chris is gonna come to
Ben
my
is your
house."
son, my nephew.
Yeah, he is 3 years old, and my brother is his absolute best friend. And if I listen to anything with my brother's voice around Ben, he's like, Uncle Chris, I'm gonna come home. Or, so I can't. So I try to listen to, like, Chris's podcast. Like, I do. Like, and Susie, she doesn't recognize voices from voices, and,
Well, I don't know what the fuck her deal is, because she hated me for the first six months of her life.
And
like, she absolutely
you.
Fucking hated me.
But she loves you. She loves Dad. Like, that's, like, the weirdest shit about her. Like, she is 19, 18, 20 months old, and she just clings to, like, you, Dad, Mom. But, like, she doesn't give a shit about me. Like, I walk in the house, she's like, high five, and, like, walks away. I'm like, okay, I love you too. I carried you for months of
No, that's one
life.
thing. I remember, like, even, like, at my wedding, like, it was during the time where she absolutely fucking hated me. Like, she would not let me hold her. Like, she wouldn't let me, like, I hold her for, like, we got the 5 minutes she wasn't crying while I was holding her. That's when we got the picture done. And now, like, I go over there and she's fucking just up in my shit no matter.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I love her to pieces. She is like both my kids are, like, absolute, like, the center of my world. But, like, she will fucking, like, run around and be like, I don't even care about, like, whether or not you exist. And then, like, oh, but I'm crying, so I'm gonna hug you. And then I'm gonna go off and, like, like, I'm like, Ben was very much more involved in, like...
Oh, no shit, yeah.
Yeah, like, he was very much like, where's mommy? Where's mommy? Where's mommy? Where's mommy? Whereas Susie's just like...
Or, even when I was there, even before he knew what the fuck was going on, like, he... Like, if someone else was there, he wasn't sitting in his chair or whatever that fucking swingy chair thing is that babies are in.
Yeah.
And like, he had to be with somebody, yeah.
Yeah, and Ben was very much more like, mommy. And Susie's just like, I will take whoever will hold me.
But it has to be when I want them to hold me.
Yeah, like, she is very picky.
Mm-hmm.
But she is beautiful.
She's like, way up in my shit. It was funny. It was crazy. Like, I gave no shits about, like, babies or kids or anything like that. Like, like, not to sound like a weirdo or anything like that, but, like, I've always enjoyed kids. Like,
yeah.
Like, I've always got along with kids have always gotten along with me, like, babysitting and whatnot, and
Yeah.
it's but it like when I first held Ben, it was like, I don't know if you remember because you were all drugged up, but I was just like, holy shit. Like it was a different thing.
And he has always been very different with you. Like he's wanted to come over here and he's wanted to be with you, and even if it wasn't like leaving the house, he's wanted to be with you. Like,
so basically what we're trying to say to our listenership is, no matter how much of a cunt I sound like, is there's people who enjoy me.
Yeah. So my kids enjoy him. They may be 2.5 and
he's over 3, isn't he?
No. Well,
didn't we just have his 3rd birthday?
Yes.
Okay.
So he turned 3 in March. So March. So he's like 3 1/3 of a year. I don't know. It's not like a real.
If you prefer, you could pull it out of the thing and talk into it. I don't know if you'd prefer that.
I don't know.
I'm trying.
Is it like a real measurement for age?
Like, I mean, I don't know if you
3 1/3.
I mean, obviously it's a real one, but
yeah.
It's just the.
Cause I kind of
I don't know. It's funny. I'm not gonna mention any names, but I made a joke where it was a Facebook post where it was me and Ben. He was probably about 1.5 or something like that, or maybe 2.
Yeah.
And it's a picture where it looks like we're talking to each other. I'm like, hey, look, I finally found my intellectual equal.
Yeah.
And someone we knew together said, "Oh, that's not an insult. That's he's really smart." All I wanted to say was, "No, he's really smart to you." What I'm saying is,
I don't here's the thing. The problem is with dealing with children before they get to school age, right? You have to deal with oh well, this is amazing and he is really smart, or oh, you should get him into this because he's really smart, and we have 2 years before we would get Ben into any sort of public school program.
Right.
And so, these people being oh, he's so brilliant, he's so smart, you should get him into this, you should get him into that. I'm like, do you think I want to risk that right now? To risk his exposure to other kids?
Well, and I mean, to be fair, I mean, not to dump on anyone else, but you and I both got thrown into shit we didn't want to do because we were, smart for, our peers, right? And so summers we got dumped in shit, and so what did I do? I got my neighbor to go with me, and we made a joke out of it and things like that. It's yeah, you know what? If obviously, yes, your kid was very smart for his age.
He is. I think Ben is very smart for his age.
Right. No, I agree. But you know what? Once you see a 2.5-year-old, it's oh wow, they learn their first 4 words quicker than anyone else. Let's throw them into a fucking program. No, let them be fucking kids for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I am so glad. Honestly, I'm so glad that Ben has 2 years before he would have to go to kindergarten, and Susie has 4 years. Because...
Well, Susie's dumb as shit.
I think she's smart as shit. She just thinks that,
I think she's smarter than Ben. But Ben's probably more intelligent, but she's smarter. She's yeah, fuck all you guys. I'm gonna do my own thing for a while.
I think the problem is she thinks that she's I'm gonna tell my brother what I want, and he's gonna get it for me, and I don't have to learn how to talk.
Right.
I think I really straight up think that that's the issue. She's not even, like, 2. Like, she will be 2 in October. Like, and she's just gonna be this fucking, like, genius who's like, I have 2 older brothers that I can manipulate into letting me get away with whatever the fuck I want to. But she is beautiful. I think she's smart. I think that she knows what she fucking wants.
No, I can definitely tell. Like, Ben and I don't know how much I've talked about this on the show, but if I haven't talked about it much, it ain't gonna match with what I've done a lot on the show. But no, my nephew and I are like fucking like best buddies right now.
Yeah.
I have a very good feeling that my niece and I are going to be best buddies in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, we have that kind of thing. So, I mean, that's all the family resemblance things I want to talk to. So,
I feel like it's going to be one of those things where, like, they're going to be at the point where they're like, oh, I don't want to go hang out with Uncle Chris because he didn't have anything fun to do. But then, like, around the age of, like, 4 and 5, when you're gonna let them get away with shit that I would never let them get away with at my house, that's gonna be the point where they're like, hey, I'm gonna go to Uncle Chris' house.
I will agree with you 50%. That whole, I'm gonna go to Uncle Chris' house thing, that's gonna be Ben at 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Your daughter, Susie... We're going to be best buds when she's like 12, 13 through high school. Like, we're going to be like real best buds. Like, all this fucking stupid childish nonsense. Like, she doesn't need me for that. She's like, no. When I need a real friend, like, that's when you're going to be there. That's the kind of kid she strikes me as.
Yeah. I mean, I think all 3 of my kids, like, Ben, Susie, and Kai,
yeah,
just fucking all enjoy you. Like, I really feel like they do. Like,
well, and if you look at Kai, who's, you know, technically, I mean, if you look at it, technically my step nephew or whatever, but I mean, honestly, I mean, fuck it, you know, he's a kid in my family. Like, I don't look at him anything, and like, I mean, you saw it yesterday, hanging out with him. I hang out with him, you know, like the same as everything. And you and I both know what it's like to be fucking stepkids, right?
Yep.
And there is no goddamn way I'm gonna let any step something feel the way we did. And you know what? I fucking like Kai. I like hanging out with Kai. Like, even if he was my buddy's kid, I would still take him to hockey games. I would still fucking show dumbass YouTube videos. You know what I mean? It's like
No, I mean, like, I love Kai. I loved him to pieces. I would die for that kid. Mm-hmm. And it's not, like, any sort of logical thing. It's not any sort of, like, oh, like, because, like, when it's your kid,
Stacy, it's very logical.
When is your
it's
kid?
The kid of someone you love.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, when you break it down to the very point, you love someone who loves them, you're gonna love them.
Yeah.
Right, and that's how it breaks down. That's how it first starts, and then you love them once you get to know them further.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how it should be. We never, you and I never experienced that shit,
right? No, I mean, like, you know, like his, you know, the shit that he watches, right? Mm-hmm. Just the stupid kid shit that he watches. Right. That he's like, oh, this is so cool. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so ridiculous. This is like the worst.
But then everyone says that.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I was fucking watching like a fistful of dollars the other night, and people were telling me it was fucking ridiculous. So, you know what? I'm sure kids' movies are the same.
No, but I mean, like the thing about it is, like, I'm just like, I want you to know the impact of what you watch. If that makes sense. Like, you know,
it doesn't.
Like,
doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest.
Well, I'm just saying, like, okay, like, let's take like 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm on board.
Let's do that.
Yep.
And
Well,
let's,
I mean,
and let's like fucking break it down to like you and your friend group, right?
okay.
And you were like, I'm gonna watch this because I believe in like women's equality or whatever the fuck you wanted to believe in.
Well, it's only women's equality if the broads are making money off of it, right? Right? Am I right? That's me being woke.
Yeah, good job being woke, Christopher. But I'm just saying, like, so let's say you wanted to do that.
Why would I want to do any of that?
To watch, like,
okay, watching, okay. But why would I want to do any of that?
I'm not saying you wanted to participate. I'm just saying, like to watch.
All right, now I'm listening. All right.
Yeah. So you wanted to watch, and you wanted to not participate whatsoever, and it was like a $5.99 subscriber situation. Like, what would you do?
I've had the internet since I was 11 years old. I don't subscribe to shit.
Do you really? Ever? Never.
Fuck no. Why?
Because
I mean, no. Because
shit that you want to see.
Here's the thing. Like, you remember the middle school we went to? Probably 60% of that was kids from like Spokane's hood, right?
Yeah.
Within a week of being 12, I had multiple porno tapes in my bedroom. All right.
Man, I feel like a woman. Bum, bum, ba-da. What?
You cool? Anyway,
no, wasn't that your thing?
No. Okay, no. So, okay, I know
you got in trouble for Shania Twain.
Here's the thing. No, okay. I used to, $5 a piece. If someone wanted a celebrity naked shot, I would print it off and find them for them. Well, you know what? It took me months, but I found a Shania Twain. I printed it off. The guy paid me, and I gave it to him. And he didn't want it. And, I mean, obviously, it was a fucking fake. But I didn't know that. I was 12. But anyway, my mother found my fake Shania Twain thing. And she's trying to make a big deal with my dad. And I remember showing up to the hockey rink. And the people who hang out with my dad's like, why is that a big deal?
Man, I feel like a woman. A
lot easier to find Pam Anderson. So,
yeah, obviously.
This is dial-up days. I just want to remind you.
Yeah, because you were fucking like at least 10 or 11.
It was 7th grade.
Yeah.
I was 11, 12. Yeah, that age. All right, so this has been a great rendezvous down memory path. It was funny. We were talking on the golf course when Stacy first got her video camera. There's at least 2 or 3 times where we just spent an hour doing a fake talk show, just her and I, just looking at the camera, talking about random shit. So we figured, this can't be much different, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, like, it was just a lot of like, here, like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake breaking up. Like, let's talk about it and how it makes us feel. And, like, whatever. Like,
that's exactly what we're doing right fucking now.
Yeah, like, obviously, like, that, like, that's what we got going on. Like, I got kids. Chris has.
So, here's what we're going to get down to.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Whose life matters? Go.
Whose life matters?
Whose lives matter? Go.
Everyone's lives matter.
All lives matter? Is that what you're saying?
Not
so what does that mean?
Lives.
What does that mean for Black Lives Matter? No, what? No, Stacey.
No.
Whose lives matter? Go.
It doesn't mean that all.
No, I don't know whose lives matter. Go.
Okay, laugh it up over their chuckles. The statement of Black Lives Matter does not mean that no other lives matter.
Are you sure?
I am absolutely positive.
Positive Magic Johnson?
Yep, positive and Magic Johnson.
So, then I ask you, whose life matters?
Everybody's life matters. However, you don't need to fucking sit there and like blue lives, black lives, blah 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 blah. Like it doesn't even fucking matter.
I thought they all matter, or someone matters. Wait, what matters? Stacy, tell me what matters.
I don't need to tell you what matters. I need you to feel what matters.
I asked you what matters. What matters?
You don't need to tell me what matters.
I'm not trying to tell you. I'm trying to ask you. Whose life matters? Go.
Everybody.
So all lives matter?
All lives.
All lives matter. Okay, so here's what we have going on right now. Is I brought my sister on here to the C Squared Hour, and she just said all lives matter. And so that's where we're going to leave it. Does that sound about right?
That's not where we're going to leave it. Because that's not what we're talking about.
That's exactly what we're talking about. I asked you whose lives matter. I asked you whose lives matter, and you say all lives matter. And that's exactly what we're talking about.
All lives do matter. But
okay, then great. So I will throw that up on my windshield, and we'll be good to go.
But that's not what we're fucking talking about.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Whose lives matter? You say all lives matter.
Here, let's look at the situation. Like, let's just, okay, pull back, and let's look at the situation. Okay, my brother is
a cunt.
Okay. Besides him being a cunt, he is a 33-year-old white male who has blonde hair, hazel eyes.
To be fair, I don't have much hair anymore.
Yeah,
continue.
He has
but continue.
Okay, so take a step back for me from the. Take a step back for me from the table. Take a step back for me from the table.
I'm here.
And do you want to tell me that if a police officer was to approach you, he would approach you with his guns out?
I mean, well, here's the thing. I mean,
probably not.
I do have the cheekbones of a homosexual man.
You
so maybe he'll approach me with different guns out.
Okay, but sit back in your chair and tell me that you would be approached.
Okay.
But okay.
No, I know what you're saying.
Just sit back and tell me.
So wait, do you want me to answer, or do you want me to sit back? Pick one.
Okay. First, sit back.
Okay.
And tell me that somebody would approach you with the same aggressive nature that they would approach somebody else. Probably not. You're chill. You're blonde as shit. You have a fucking Duncan tattoo on your side of your arm.
Scottish fucking crest.
Yeah, you have a Scottish crest.
No, and I will tell you this, and I 100% agree.
You have an advantage in this world.
If I'm drunk and acting like a cunt, I'm gonna get treated I'm gonna get treated differently than some African American who's drunk and acting like a cunt.
Or anybody who's browner than you. Like it's just a state of fact. Like it just is. Like you are not threatening. I'm like I love you to pieces. But you were not threatening.
I'm not threatening until you get this first hand, right?
Yeah, and then I leave, and I fucking like, okay, well, I'm not gonna come over. And you're like, oh, well, yeah, we'll get some Little Caesars, and then you'll forgive me. But I'm just saying, like,
so
you're
so Black Lives Matter, is that what you're saying? Or do all lives matter? I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck you're trying to say. Like,
Black Lives Matter, they do.
So
I'm just saying, like, here's the shit. Here's the whole thing that Black Lives Matter is founded upon. like, Black Lives Matter was founded on the fact that, like, these people matter as much as you do. And then it got construed to people being like, oh, well, if I don't care about this girl who got married and she is white and blah, 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 then I don't care about, like, it's...
Wait, what?
Like,
you don't care about a woman who got married, so blah, blah, blah is a white woman who got married?
No, but I mean, like, people ran into this shit when they were, like, when we're talking about this. Like, Black Lives Matter as opposed to All Lives Matter is, like...
Well, would you like to know my argument?
What?
Some lives matter. This has nothing to do with blacks. Nothing to do with white. It has to do with your contribution to society, to America. You know what? Some white people's lives, you know, if they're lost, you know, who gives a shit? Some black people, if their lives are lost, who gives a flying fuck? But you know what? It has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with anything like that. It's like, why isn't there, like, that's the problem. There's, like, no... See, that's what bugs me, is there's no marketable skill thing you can, like, you're able to judge people when they're robbing a convenience store. It's like, you know, like two white guys rob a convenience store and they have no marketable skills. You have to treat them the same way as a black and a white guy robbing a convenience store who, you know, if you give
most Swedish fish.
Well, the white guy. I mean, if you're black, you're getting sour. But what I'm saying,
really a thing?
Probably.
We're
we're in the wrong part of the country to really know. I mean, to be quite honestly.
Do people really like sour Swedish fish elsewhere?
No, I'm saying if Caucasians go Swedish fish,
we have a bag in our fucking pantry. Like, are you gonna eat them?
I'm down. What I'm saying is the problem is, here's my thing, no lives matter. Fuck everybody. You know what? Everyone, you know, is, you know, everyone's the same. The fucking rich billionaire, if he dies walking across the street, it's the fucking same as if the fucking, you know, the poor Mexican guy, you know, walking across the street dies.
See, and I don't think that's the case. Let me argue this.
Now, before you go, let me. This is why I wanted to bring my sister on for at least one episode. Probably more after all this, but I just...
Yeah, because his sister's fucking smart as shit. You're welcome.
She's alright, but she's just a fucking flame. I'm batshit crazy, and she's a liberal, but she's able to look at things in a way that could get on the ballot. So anyway, what were you saying? All lives matter? Go.
Okay, so here's my thing about the all lives matter argument. Nobody should be scared to approach the police. Ever. That is...
Or everyone should be afraid to approach the police.
No. Nobody. You, me, Ben, Susie, Kai, Michael.
Okay. So I'm a murderer. So
Whoever.
I murder you.
Whoever.
I murder you, but you know what? I shouldn't be afraid to approach the police about it, right?
But let's look at this from a realistic standpoint. They have a fucking right to feel safe in their community. They have a right. My children.
Who are?
What do you mean who are?
Just kidding.
I'm just saying they have a right to feel safe in their community.
Bullshit.
They have to have.
They don't have that right.
They do.
No, they don't. Your kids have a right to shit. I have a right to shit. No one has a right to anything. If you're saying your kids have the right to feel safe in their community, then that means those fucking AIDS-ridden fucking Ethiopians.
Okay, let's talk about this. Like, if you want to talk about like your basic rights as someone who
A human being,
as a human being, you have what? The right to liberty, land.
well, that's according to the Constitution. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, but if we look back past what you're talking about, because you're talking about something that happened.
No. What you're talking about is what was written in the
post
bill.
70.
Well, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, that whole thing.
Yeah, so
right?
post 70.
But what you just said is that your kids have the right to. But what you just said was something that very few kids in the world have the right to.
No, and I don't give a shit if my kids have the right to it.
But you just said they have the right to it.
No, but I'm saying they have the right to know. They have the right to information when it comes to me, my husband, his family, as far as entering into the U.S. They have the right to that information. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm not saying that, like, and I'm not saying that there's going to be extra benefits based on the fact that they came after the fact or whatever.
Okay, no, I see what you're saying, but here's my question. All right. So what you're saying is they have the right to all this knowledge that they can get, right?
Yeah.
What makes them different than people in the country of Ethiopia or Niger or whatever, all those places in Central Africa? What makes it different?
I would pay
what
honestly,
what makes them different?
Nothing makes them different.
So what you're saying is you are willing to fight for these children's rights, but not their rights to have the exact same thing.
Honestly, I would.
I just gave you the chance to do it.
I would, honestly. If you want to tell me there are half children in Niger that...
Do I have to tell you this shit?
No, I'm not.
You're supposed to be intelligent, and I have to tell you this shit?
But I'm saying, if you were to approach me with like, hey, we have these half children in Niger that are related to Kai or related to Ben or related to Susie.
Okay. So, hey, you know what? If they're related to you, then it matters.
It doesn't. It matters before that. The problem
but you're not going to help until it affects you personally.
We did not get the information about our kids. Like, me and Michael did a DNA test before this whole COVID-19 shit happened.
Well, after seeing your first kid, you should probably done it afterwards, because there's no way your son is your husband's kid, because he's way too cool. Yes, your son is cooler than your husband. That's what I was saying. You look confused. Your son is better than your husband.
He is. He is so fun.
That's all I was saying.
No, I'm just saying, like...
So, Stacy, here's what I have to ask you.
Yeah.
When this all comes down, whose life matters?
Okay, so you want to
whose life matters? Go.
All lives matter.
All right. Well, then that means black lives don't matter. So you heard her.
That doesn't mean black lives don't matter.
According to everything you see on Twitter, that's exactly what that means.
The people that talk on Twitter and say that black lives matter and then, like, they don't live in the north. We're fucking 30 miles
King of
away.
the North!
We're not talking about the King of the North. Okay, Jon Snow. But, like, I'm just talking about the fact that, like, we're not impacted a lot by, like, Southern immigrants. We're not. Yes or no?
No, yes, we are quite a bit, actually, but it's a different kind of Southern. if you look at the farming communities in the state of Washington, quite a few of Hispanic. There's quite a few. I mean, you go down to Wenatchee, Yakima, Tri-Cities during harvest things.
Yeah,
It's
they're the T zones.
the what? Say that again.
The T zones.
The T zones.
Like Tacoma,
What does that
Wenatchee. What's the fuck?
Yakima, Richland, the T zones. Where the fuck did you go? What does T stand for, Stacy? What does T stand for? The T zones. Come on, I want to hear it. There's nothing better. There's nothing better than watching someone who pretends to be woke stuttering over their fucking words, like not realizing if what they just said was racist.
No, do you want to hear fucking shit? Like, do you want to hear shit?
Always.
Like, I was fucking somebody
Gross.
who lived in Richland, who was like, "Oh, you're gonna be my girlfriend, and you can just drive down here, and nobody will know who you are." And it's like, so I drove down to fucking Tacoma and Richland and whatever.
Richland is nowhere near Tacoma, by the way.
But I did it.
Are you thinking about Kennewick, or are you thinking about...
I don't know. I fucking drove.
Tacoma is 4 hours away. Richland's an hour and a half away.
I fucking drove to fucking the middle of nowhere to impress somebody who didn't give a shit. So, can we not?
I mean, you sound like everyone else in the world.
Like, can I not, like, get past the fact that I've been...
Well, no, here's my question. Is where did the fucking term T-zone come from? That's what I was curious about.
The fact that his fucking mama paid for everything.
But where does the term T-zone come from? You've obviously heard T-zone.
Tri-Cities.
Okay, so you're talking about Tri-Cities, like T-zone. But I'm talking, like, if you really look at it, like Yakima, you look at Wenatchee, you look at fucking all those places up there, they have more of the people you're talking about than the fucking Tri-Cities ever do, because...
Okay, but they didn't have the people that would fucking crash into somebody's car on a motorcycle while they were on a motorcycle and try to...
Do you know what the fuck you're talking about?
Yes, I do. Because we were in Tri-Cities the night that his mom got arrested.
Alright, well, I'm not sure you know what the fuck you're talking about. Anyway, here's what I gotta ask. Now that you've said that Black Lives don't matter, just all lives matter.
I did not say that Black Lives don't matter. But, like, if you want to, like, sit there and argue with me about it, like, let me tell you about it.
You know what was awesome is that once we get done with this, all this episode was just drunken ramblings of two siblings. Which is kind of exactly what I was looking at. Like, we jumped to Tri-Cities things. We jumped to you being a racist, like, a few times over. We jumped to a bunch of shit, So,
except for I'm not a racist.
Well, yeah, you are. You're a little more of a racist than I am. See, because I'll admit that I see color. You won't.
I see color too.
Do you?
Yeah.
But you say all lives matter, so when you walk into the grocery store... Obviously, you only worry about some of the employees.
But whose grocery store are we talking about?
Does it matter whose grocery store? Because isn't it everyone's grocery store? Why does it have to be someone's or someone else's?
I feel like you're misconstruing this.
Or I'm trying to be a douche nozzle.
Yeah.
Wait, what was that? Say that without belching. Your son actually absolutely loves belching, by the way. So here's the thing, all right? And we just did this. There's actually, like, I wanted to talk about real shit to this whole thing. We just arguing about who's the racist.
If you want to talk about whatever, I'm game.
No. I mean, we're coming to the end of it. Here's the thing, though, is I remember, and this is us both bone dry sober. I may have been half stoned over this whole thing. Is when Stacy, when she first got a video camera.
Yeah.
The first couple things we did was record an hour talk show with just the two of our dumbasses looking at the camera.
That is true.
Talking about random shit that we thought was interesting.
That is absolutely true. We wrote like fucking conversation pieces on pieces of paper, and we drew them and we talked.
And that's why I figured this would be, a good thing. It's, and quite honestly, I have a bunch of shit written down. We haven't gotten to any of it, but we,
bring it.
Simmer, woman.
Go on, bring it in.
Simmer.
I'll do it.
Now that you're a racist. It's fine.
I'm not racist.
Yeah, because all lives matter. Not because according to you, Black lives don't matter. It's fine. All lives matter. You just said it. No, but I thought it'd be fun. You and I doing something like this, just because. From that, when did you get? You were probably about what, 12, maybe 11 when you got your video camera.
Yeah.
And the first couple things you tried to do was we did like a fake talk show.
Yeah.
And then once a certain person who managed to marry our father saw that, she decided that every time she wanted to do something in the basement was only gonna be who did that. So, but do you remember those talk shows?
Oh yeah.
What sticks out to you? You okay, hon?
Yeah.
Drinking beer's tough, I know.
I really, literally just remember you just being like, this is what's, it was kind of, more talk showy.
Right, yeah, we were bullshitting with each other.
Yeah. You were like, I'm shit-faced, and blah, blah, blah.
But I wasn't at the time. I was probably really fucking stoned, but I wasn't shit-faced.
Yeah, but it was.
I know. I just thought it. From what we from. Again, we probably did 3 hours worth of just a random talk show of your camera facing us, where we just fucking bullshitting about
random of my friends and
mm-hmm.
Shit like that. Where
remember Joe Millionaire? I think that was a fucking topic.
Joe Millionaire was probably a topic.
You're no dummy. Here's my question. So, Stacy, would you be willing to be a guest on a future show?
Oh yeah.
The C Squared Hour.
Oh yeah.
All right, because I know the because here's another thing, the other C. You remember when Chris and I used to sign you out of school
to
drive us around because we were too drunk?
But do you know who would be a better guest?
No, but do you remember that?
I do.
I'm just saying.
You would sign me out of school.
And you'd show up to the office, you get all worried. You're like, no, we just need a run.
Yeah, and if I can drive you assholes around to not anywhere crazy, because it was all
just convenience store and back home. We just needed more beer and shit. But you're just halfway.
But I feel I really do. I feel if you want to have a cool discussion, I feel you should talk to my husband.
Yeah, I'd be happy. You know what? I'd be happy to do it. Here's the thing, all right? Here's the thing. My name on the show, right?
Yeah.
My show, right?
Yeah. I
ain't reaching out to fucking nobody. All right?
Yeah.
So you know what? If someone wants to come to me, they got to come to me.
But
you know what? I ain't going out. You're here as a fucking guest, as a special guest. You're here as someone You're here as the fucking 16-year-old who saw me when I was 19, drunker than 10 naked Indians, at 11 in the afternoon who I signed out of school to get out there. You're a special guest.
Yeah.
If someone wants to be my co-host, they got to come to me. This is my show, motherfucker.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you want to talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk real shit. Michael will.
First of all, he won't talk real shit. I try to talk real shit with him. He ain't got it.
He doesn't want to fight with you because he knows I love you.
We fight every fucking day we're together. Like, that's how we know we love each other. If we didn't fight, I would think you would have hated me.
But like, he doesn't want to see us fight with each other. Because
but how do we know we love each other if we don't fight each other?
I know. Because we're fucking best friends in, like, the world of doing all the shit.
I mean, quite honestly, like, I'm not sure if we've been friends for the last probably 15 years, because my eye hasn't been blackened because of you. So.
Oh, I haven't fucking pulled you out of enough shit.
You have, but like, you've pulled me out of shit. Anyone can pull me out of shit. That's what fucking cops are for. But my friends fucking, punch me in the mouth when I need it.
Yeah, okay.
No. So what were you just saying right now?
No, I'm just saying, like your definition of friendship and mine are very different right now.
Okay, well, what's your definition? What do you see mine as being?
No, I see you as one of my best friends. Like,
you're fucking better.
Like, I can drop my kids off here. They're going to be safe. You're going to fucking take care of them like they're your own. You're not going to let...
Well, let's be honest. We have a little more backstory than most people should have. And we see
With
that
what?
in each other.
I mean, like...
Childhood, adulthood.
But it doesn't have to do with it. It doesn't have to do with...
No, but what I'm saying is, like, everyone has a brother and sister, but I think we have more of a...
I could fucking drop my kids off
mature. Here. I think we have more of a mature brother and sister sort of thing.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I drop my kids off here, and I know you will keep them safe for, like...
At least 7 minutes.
At least, I would say 4 hours. 4 hours for you to just fucking, like... And, like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, some people just have houses. Ew.
So you're saying you wouldn't trust your kid here longer than 4 hours? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, which one do you want to keep?
I told you, it depends what they want to do.
If you want to keep Ben, you can keep him by himself. If it was Ben and Susie overnight, I think that would be a lot for you and Casey overnight, because
we tried. Ben wouldn't go to fucking sleep until he got in the car seat. You remember?
Yeah. Ben loves to cuddle. He just loves to fucking feel your warmth.
Okay, so let's get down to this. All right.
Yeah.
So here's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
My sister Stacy says all lives matter.
I did not say all lives matter.
You did say that.
I did not say all lives matter. Let's be clear on that.
You did say that, though.
No, I'm saying if we're breaking it down into groups, and you're like, "Ooh,
then all lives matter." Yeah, you're right. That's what you say.
I do not say all lives matter.
That is exactly what you said.
You're full of shit.
All I know is okay. Well, here's what this whole episode came down to. All right, I'm gonna be completely honest with my listeners. Let's
go to the tape.
Stacy and I decided to get super hammered on the golf course today.
Yeah.
We played golf today, and so here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to call her a racist She's trying to prove to me,
which wouldn't work because I'm not a racist.
and she's trying to prove to me that, like, she loves her kids more than I do. But honestly, I love her kids more than she does. So we're really just looking at a thing where she's just trying to make me look like a racist. That's all this whole thing is.
I do not want to make him look like a racist. Like, I feel like that is a misrepresentation.
You feel like he does that on his own.
Who?
I make myself look like a racist. That's what I was saying.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you're not a racist. You're not a racist for my kids. So, like, why?
I'm just a racist in line at the grocery store.
Yep, there you go.
No, it's fine. No, it's just. I mean, here's the whole moral of this episode. And once I finish editing it, we'll see what's really going on. But it is the day after my sister's 30th birthday.
30! Woo!
I decided to get her drunker than 10 naked Indians while we were golfing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Drunk.
I'm sorry. 10 naked Native Americans.
I am super drunk. That is a thing.
I decided to do that for her birthday. And I said, you know what would be fun? Is, I did 3-hour-long episodes of some bullshit fucking video blog you wanted to do. And so, you know what? Hon, I'll let you do a podcast with me.
And let's not let the other Chris get back on here being all fucking drunk and annoying and ridiculous.
What are you saying?
He can go fuck himself. That's what I'm saying.
Now, why do you say that?
Because he's just full of shit. He has nothing to, like, offer besides what News 4 tells him to fucking report. Like, tell me something that your pretty face doesn't tell you to, like, he is so ridiculous. Like, he is so pretty. Like, he's like, ooh, I have these ramen noodles telling me to tell me that I think this is a big deal. Let's tell you that Manchuban ramen noodles don't have a big deal to do with this. And then he'll fucking tell you. Because he's a piece of shit, and I love him. But he's a garbage human. My brother can't stop laughing.
I don't know what the fuck you were just doing.
Because he's a garbage human.
Where's French ramen noodles?
No, because the Manchuman ramen, which is like the British ramen noodle. He's like, ew, I can't eat these ramen noodles because they have too much sodium. Ew, no. And I'm like, that would be him. That would be crazy right now. Because he's a fucking bitch and bailed on some podcasts. And he fucking eats low sodium ramen noodles like a fucking bitch.
What kind of faggot eats low sodium?
Yeah, so like just fucking get out and fucking go to Britain or whatever the fuck you need to do. New Zealand, they're not even on the fucking map because they won't report their numbers. Bye, Chris Kennedy.
You hide it well, but you were very much a fucking you're very much a proud boy. Like, you hide it well, but you
Me?
Yeah.
No.
You are.
No. I give 2 fucks. Like, do you know? Like, I'm not.
No, but everything you say outside of America is very much a fucking, like, stay on my country, New Zealand or whatever the fuck they say, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, because Chris needs a fucking tool bag. Chris, yeah, like, do you not know how long I've hated this asshole?
See, that's a good question. How long? Because I
loved him, like, when you guys were seniors in high school. But then, like, after that, like, he fucking was, like, passing out on Dad's couch, and Dad was, like...
Well, so was I.
But Dad was feeling like fucking taken advantage of, and I was like, oh, this feeling, you know? So, like,
I still haven't heard you finish the sentence yet.
I love him, however, he's a garbage human. Like, he's like a raccoon. Like,
No, he's not. He's 100% Caucasian.
Like, I would love to give him a hug because he'd only come out at night because he's scared of me any other time when I can get legal representation.
You know what's awesome? I love my fucking sister when she's drunk.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is the.
Ow! I hit my head.
Yes, you did.
I did.
This is the C Squared Hour, episode. What was it? 7? Anything? I brought my sister on. We're drunker than 10 Naked Indians after golfing,
And I have to go potty.
and she has to go potty. And so we thank you all for listening. We will, we appreciate it. We will give us your beer recommendations. You know where. And if nothing else, I'll see you next Tuesday.